The future looking a lot brighter there for limb replacement. Now, I'm sure I'm not the only person who wishes she had longer legs. When you see all those tall models in the magazines, it's hard not to get a little bit jealous. But for some people, it's a much more serious issue.
For orthopedic surgeons, the Ilizarov technique has offered a breakthrough in more ways than one. When infected breaks fail to heal, often the only option has been amputation.
This is the Ilizarov apparatus. Essentially, it consists of rings which are fixed together by these bolts and nuts.
But now, this method of limb lengthening makes a complete recovery possible.
This is an X-ray of a patient who previously had a fracture with the infected non-union of the tibia or the lower leg. Now, this patient is a young man and he had multiple surgery done to get the infected bone to heal, but most of them did not work and he was quite depressed about it. He was actually offered an amputation in another hospital. So when I saw him, I actually told him that it's possible to get the infection cured using the Ilizarov technique.
This unusual procedure offers a real breakthrough to patients who had often despaired of a successful outcome. The pins ensure that the bone is held in the correct alignment. The technique involves removing the infected bone. The remarkable discovery is that new bone will grow to fill the gap, effectively lengthening the bone.
It's an excellent technique in orthopedics which has combined both biological and mechanical qualities of bone to produce successful outcomes in patients with this type of problems.
Once at home, the patient can adjust the apparatus themselves, each day lengthening the limb a little more.
I saw the more of toes for me. In terms of bone lengthening, one of the questions I get commonly asked by patients is how much lengthening can we achieve, and it is actually the general figures are between 25 to 30% of the length of the bone itself.
The exact biological mechanism isn't totally understood, but the new bone seems every bit as strong as the rest of the limb. And smokers beware. If there's nicotine in the bloodstream, the new bone won't grow at all. But in a new breakthrough, the cumbersome apparatus will be replaced with an internal pin that is progressively lengthened using a remote-controlled antenna. The team is also able to use the technique cosmetically for people who, for whatever reason, would like to have longer legs. It's an example of using the body's own natural healing properties and repurposing them to create the bionic man.